Good morning to all of you. I am Dr. V.R.K. Murthy, Professor, VFSTR, Guntur. Today, I would like to discuss group theory, a very important topic for students of mathematics. Before we go exactly what is a group, first I will explain a relation. If A and B are two non-empty sets, you know that A cross B is set of all ordered pairs of elements of A and B. So, F is any subset of A cross B, then F is generally called relation between A and B. So, A cross B is a set with all ordered pairs A comma B, where A belongs to capital A, B belongs to capital B. That is, set of all ordered pairs of A and B. Hence, relation is a set of ordered pairs. See an example here. Let A is equal to set 1 comma 2. And B is set x comma y. So what is A cross B? So A cross B is a set consisting of elements 1x, ordered pair 1x, ordered pair 1y, ordered pair 2x, and ordered pair 2y. So this is set A cross B. Likewise, suppose set A is as it is 1 comma 2, but B is a set x, y, z. Then, so A cross B is given by set of all ordered pairs 1 comma x, 1 comma y, 1 comma z, 2 comma x, 2 comma y, 2 comma z. So, depending on the number of elements of A and number of elements of B, we will have number of elements in A cross B. So, if number of elements of A denoted by n of A, let us say it is P. Number of elements of B, n of B, let us say it is Q. Then number of elements n of A cross B will be PQ. So, suppose I want to define a relation F on A cross B. F is given by set ordered pairs 1 comma x, 1 comma y, 2 comma y. So, some elements are selected from A cross B. So, this forms a relation. F is one relation on A and B. Likewise, suppose I want to give another relation G, subset of A cross B. So G is equal to ordered pair 1 comma x, 1 comma y, 2 comma y, like 2 comma z. So G is a relation on A comma B. Likewise, you can define any type of relation on A and B. Suppose instead of two sets A and B, you have only one set A. So A cross A is set of all ordered pairs of A into A. Suppose F is subset of A cross A, then generally we say F is a relation on set A. So types of relations now we will be discussing. There are three types of relations we generally have. 1. Reflexive. 2. Symmetry. 3. Trans. These are the three types of relations. So what is relation reflexive? A relation F on a non-empty set A is said to be reflexive if ordered pair A comma A belong to F for all A belong to capital A. That means for every element A belong to capital A, the ordered pair A comma A should always belong to F. In that case, that relation F is generally called reflexive relation. As an example, let A is equal to set x comma y and F is given by x comma x, y comma y. So if you observe this, F is a reflexive relation on A. Suppose I take set A with elements 1 comma 2 comma 3. and F is equal to ordered pairs 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2. But this is not a reflexive relation because 3 is an element of A, but ordered pair 3 3 is not in F. So therefore, this relation is not reflexive. Now, symmetry. Which relation is known as symmetry? A relation F on non-empty set A is said to be symmetric if B ordered pair B comma A belong to F. For all ordered pair A comma B belong to F. So, what does it mean? Ordered pair AB is in F, then ordered pair BA must also be in F. Then such a relation is known as symmetry. So, this example I am taking here, A is equal to 1, 2, 3 elements. So, I define a relation F to be ordered pair 1 comma 2, ordered pair 2 comma 1. So, this is a symmetric relation. Likewise, define another relation. Here I have G. 1 comma 2 ordered pair, 2 comma 1, another ordered pair, 1 comma 1. This is the relation of G. If you verify the condition given, you can easily observe this is also a symmetric relation. Now you take relation H I am defining as ordered pair 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 3 comma 3. But this is not symmetric, right? Now suppose a relation L is defined as 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3. This relation is both reflexive and also symmetric. Finally, the last relation I am going to discuss, transitive relation. A relation F on a non-empty set A is said to be transitive if ordered pair A comma C belong to F. For all A comma B and B comma C belong to F. So, what does it mean? Ordered pair A comma B and ordered pair B comma C, if both of them are in F, then ordered pair A comma C should also be in F. Such a relation is called transitive relation. So, I take A to B set 1 comma 2 and I define a relation H 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 1. Now you can easily verify. So this relation H is transitive. So finally, there is one relation known as equivalence relation. A relation on a non-empty set A is said to be equivalent if it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. It means one particular relation on a set A, if it satisfies reflexive relation property, symmetric relation property and also transitive relation property, then that relation is known as equivalence relation. Now, we will discuss functions. You are already thorough with functions in your intermediate course. You learned functions. But remember, what is a function? Function is nothing but a relation. A relation F from set A to set B is said to be a function if the following conditions are satisfied. So you can generate a relation from A to B, whether that relation is a function or not a function. If that relation satisfies the conditions given, it will be a function, otherwise not. So the conditions are, when F is a function from A to B, A must be a domain and B must be codomain. All the elements of domain A should be mapped to any element of codomain B. The first condition should be satisfied. Every element of A should be mapped for some element of B. Likewise, second condition, every element of domain A must be mapped only once. So, if you map the elements of A, the mapping should be done only once. So, from this you can easily observe every function is a relation, but every relation is not a function. So, you take a set A is equal to set 1 comma 2 comma 3 and b is equal to set x comma y comma z, then function f from a to b is f is equal to ordered pair 1 comma x, 2 comma z, 3 comma y. So if you carefully observe this f, it is a function which satisfies the conditions specified. Now you are already familiar to 1-1 mapping. When do you say a function is 1-1? A function is 1-1 when distinct elements have distinct images. Means distinct element in domain A should have distinct images in set B. So you observe this diagram. A is a set consisting of elements x, y, z, and B is a set consisting of elements 1, 2, 3. Now I am generating a mapping from A to B. X is mapped to 2 and Y is mapped to 1, Z is mapped to 3. So that means all elements of A are mapped and every element of A is mapped only once. So it's a function. Likewise, there is onto mapping. You must have already studied. A function f A to B is said to be onto if every element in codomain B has a pre-image in domain A. Got it? So in the case of onto, you observe the codomain. So every element of codomain should have a pre-image in the domain. If that condition is satisfied, the function is said to be onto. So it is written like this. For all y belong to B, there exists x belong to A such that f of x is equal to 1. If this condition is satisfied for all the elements of codomain B, that function is an onto function. So see the diagram here. In the first diagram, set A consisting of elements x, y, z and set B consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see the mapping, in set B, element 4 is not connected to any element. So therefore, this function is not onto. See the second diagram, where you have elements of the domain x, y, z and elements of codomain 1, 2. So elements of all the elements of codomain are mapped. So this is an onto function. Second diagram is an onto function, whereas first diagram is not an onto function. So if f A to B is an onto function, the range of the function is equal to the codomain. Now I explain you what is a bijection. So out of all the functions, certain functions are known as bijective functions. When do you say a function is bijective function? A function f A to B is said to be bijection if it is both 1, 1 and onto. So that means a function which satisfies both the conditions of a 1, 1 function and also an onto function. Then such a function is known as bijective function. So see these observations. F A to B is 1, 1. Suppose the function f A to B is 1, 1 function. Number of elements of A always less than or equal to number of elements of B. Likewise, if the function is an onto function, number of elements of A will be greater than or equal to number of elements of B. Suppose f A to B is both 1, 1 and onto. That means it is a bijection. Then number of elements of A must always be equal to number of elements of B. Now inverse mapping. So if suppose you want inverse mapping is possible only for bijective function. If f A to B is said to be bijection, then only f inverse exists and f inverse B to A. So In the case of f, function f, A is domain and B is codomain. Whereas in the case of f inverse, B will be domain, A will be codomain. F inverse of B to A is defined as f inverse of y is equal to x. If and only if y is equal to f of x. So where x belongs to A and y belongs to B. This is inverse mapping. Likewise, there is a composition mapping. F is a function from A to B and G is a function from B to C. So these two functions, then the composition of functions GOF is defined to be A to C. That means for F, A is domain, B is codomain. Whereas for G, B is domain and C is codomain. Then the composite function G circle F is A to C. A is domain and C is codomain. And it is defined as G circle F of x is equal to G of f of x for all x belong to A. And one more point you keep in mind, F circle G is not equal to G circle F. After knowing all this, now let us discuss about equality of functions. When do you say two functions are equal? The two functions f and g are said to be equal if f of x is equal to g of x for all x belong to domain. So of course, keep one point in mind. Two functions will be equal if they are defined on same domain and same codomain. So see the diagram here. F of 1 is equal to y, that is equal to g of 1. F of 2 is equal to x, that is g of 2. F of 3 is equal to k, that is g of 3. F of 4 is equal to z, that is equal to g of 4. That means image of f and also image of g are identical. So therefore, f and g are equal.